How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and today I thought we'd speculate about the possible DLC costumes when Spawn is finally released. Honestly, he's not that far away from coming out, and I imagine pretty soon we're gonna get some trailers, so I wanted to beat him to the punch and just make some predictions on what I think these costumes might be. When Joker came out recently, we got a lot of awesome comic book costume references like Darkseid, we got Catwoman, Killer Croc, all that fantastic stuff, and can't forget about the Batman who laughs. And I wouldn't be surprised if NetherRealm continued this trend for Spawn and gave us a bunch of comic book characters that are related to his series. And once again, I'm a huge comic book nerd, lots of space in my brain wasted on comic book facts. So if I'm being honest, this video is half an excuse to just spit liquid hot nerd all over your face. That honestly didn't sound nearly as weird in my head, but without any further ado, let's start the video. So a very obvious possible costume would be the Redeemer, this boy. He looks really good. He would fit on pretty much any of the ninja characters. It would go very well. Honestly, you could put this outfit on anybody. It's going to come down to the gameplay itself, which character would make the most sense to have this outfit on. And for anyone who's not aware about what Redeemer is, he's pretty much the angelic version of Spawn. So Spawn is a hell spawn from hell. He leads the army of hell, and he's made from demon magic and black magic, all that stuff. Whereas Redeemer is made from heaven. Now, that doesn't necessarily make him a good character. Remember, even in the Bible, the angels aren't always the nicest people, especially not to humans. And the Redeemer is no different. He'll pretty much stop at nothing to accomplish his goal, which is of course killing Spawn. And as it says right here, he is the anti-Spawn. He is the Redeemer. And he looks different from comic to comic. Sometimes he's gold and blue. Go ahead and throw that on screen just for fun. That's how he looked in the Spawn Armageddon video game, and he was cool in that game as well. I wasn't a fan of his transformation at the end, but he's a very cool character, and he's quite literally the opposite of Spawn, and I think what makes this outfit so likely is it could pretty much fit on anybody, and it would work just fine. In other words, this outfit wouldn't be very tough to do on any character. Nothing about it is going to be hard to implement in-game. However, the same can't be said for the next possibility, which is the Violator. Everyone who knows about Spawn knows about the Violator. This creepy guy is almost equally iconic. Now, the Violator is a native of Hell, whereas Spawn is actually a human who is killed and then brought back from Hell to serve the demon Lord Malebolgia. Whereas this guy is just straight up born and raised in Hell, the Violator. And sometimes he takes on the form of a demonic looking clown. And this guy's job at first in the comics was just to babysit Spawn and make sure he was on the path to being the general of Hell like he was supposed to be. Spawn basically had a limited amount of time on Earth before he had to come back to Hell and lead Malebolgia's army, and this guy was just keeping tabs on him, making sure Spawn didn't do anything that might make Malebolgia upset. Now, it's never really described what that thing might be, but I imagine it would be somehow trying to reverse his Hell Spawn state, basically transforming himself back into a human or possibly even an angel, which does happen at one point in the comics, and it looks really cool. Now, this outfit, I imagine, would go on Collector. I think it would be the most fitting. And honestly, it would look a bit weird because he would have multiple arms, but the fact that Collector is already hunched over would be perfect for this crazy headgear. It would look really good on Collector, and we'd see some more Collector players in Kombat League, and that would be awesome. The guy's not played very often, much like D'Vorah. Honestly, this outfit wouldn't look too bad on D'Vorah either. She already has the correct number of limbs, but she also has the ovipositor limbs, which might look a bit weird, but the eyes are kind of bug-like. So it could work on either one of those characters, but I really do hope that if it does exist, it would be put on Collector. Now, this costume would be a bit tough to implement because the head is so darn crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if NetherRealm could pull it off. And this character, once again, very iconic, so having him as a costume would be a very good decision. And one more costume that would be very easy to pull off would be Chapel. I think this would just be absolutely perfect for Jax. Now, Chapel isn't the most interesting character in terms of what he can do. He's more or less just a soldier with some really bad PTSD, and he's a bit messed up in the head. He's very dangerous, a bit sinister, but as far as supernatural powers go, nothing there. However, his story is actually very important. He in fact does have a very personal relationship with Spawn. They both fought in the war together, and I do believe it was the Vietnam War, though I could be incorrect on this. Now, the outfit itself isn't that impressive, especially for a Spawn character. It's not that ridiculous looking, but it wouldn't be very hard to implement, and once again, it just screams Jax. This would go perfect for him. He already has all the guns and stuff. It would just fit so perfectly, so I wouldn't be surprised if this costume made it in. Once again, a very simple costume, but a great reference to Spawn and would fit very well into the game very easily. And next up, let's talk about a female possibility, Angela. So as her name implies, she is an angel sent to kill Spawn. In fact, I do believe she is an archangel. And she's not the only one sent down to kill Spawn. There are several female characters that get introduced later on in the series, but the main one has always been Angela. In fact, more recently, she did team up with Spawn to take on the King of Hell himself, Malebolgia. Actually, he's the Prince of Hell. I messed up there. Malebolgia is the Prince of Hell. The important thing is Angela does eventually team up with Spawn to fight more dangerous enemies. But for a large part of the series, she is just trying to kill Spawn. As you can see right here, she is depicted trying to kill him. She's just standing on top of all of his stuff. She's always constantly hunting and trying to kill Spawn for the longest time. And I'm not sure if they fall in love or if they just become partners, but the point is, she looks awesome. She has an awesome weapon. I think as far as this weapon is concerned, she would be most fitting for Jade, but at the same time, Jade already has so many costumes. She could also work for Sindel, but I'm not sure if they would give a DLC costume to a DLC character, because that would mean if you buy the pack, you might not be able to use the costume because you have to have the character also, so they might not put any DLC costumes on DLC characters. But if NetherRealm did want to go that route, then Sindel could also fit pretty well just because of the outfit and the body type. Now, they probably won't go this scantily clad because of how Mortal Kombat 11 is trying to present itself, but I still think Angela would be a fantastic choice, or honestly any one of the Archangels, but if you want to go that route, you really shouldn't skip over Angela. She is the main one that is the most iconic. And another really good female costume choice would be Jessica Priest, basically a mercenary Catwoman. She loves to use guns, and once again, one more person trying to kill Spawn. Now, according to Chapel, she was actually hired to kill Al Simmons, which is Spawn's secret identity. Or I should just say it's Spawn before he died. Spawn was also a CIA agent and ex-military person as well. And once again, according to Chapel, Jessica Priest is the one who actually killed him, but we're not really sure. And for a bit, she was actually She-Spawn, looking really cool. This would look awesome on Jackie. I think she deserves the DLC costume, but would also look good on Sonya. It would look good on Kitana. But Kitana just got a costume. She doesn't need any more, but it would look good on pretty much any female character. But I'm just saying, NetherRealm, I would love more excuses to play Jackie. I love that character so much. And one more fantastic costume choice would be Overkill. Or Overkill, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I believe it's always said as Overkill. This guy's entire gimmick is being pure machinery. His entire body is pretty much a weapon. He's like a more realistic, sinister version of Mega Man. He's very threatening, very big and imposing as well, which is why it would make the most sense to put him on Garrus, but once again, Garrus, like Jade, has a lot of costumes already, so it could go on to a different character. I think Aaron Black would also be pretty fitting, because he already has all the different guns, so it could make a lot of sense. But Overkill would be a very awesome costume to implement as well, and I don't think the character necessarily has to be this big, but you know what? Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn could also work if they wanted to try and be more accurate with scale, because this guy is pretty darn big. So it could go on Jax, it could go on Garrus, could go on Shao Kahn, but the most fitting character would be Aaron Black because he also likes to use a lot of guns. And how about Cogliostro, if I'm saying that name correctly? So this guy is an ex-Hellspawn who is now helping current Hellspawns, including Al Simmons, otherwise known as Spawn. This outfit would look really good on Raiden because of course he is also a mentor figure, so this could work really well for him. There's not much to go on really, just a really awesome jacket, a cool hat, and a very, very long beard. But I still think that could look really good. Bearded Raiden, that would be awesome. I'm not sure how easy a beard would be to implement into Mortal Kombat 11, but I'm just saying this outfit would look really cool in motion, especially for a character like Raiden. And how about a bit more of an obscure reference, the Curse? So this is actually an angelic being who believes he deserves to be the Redeemer more than the person who was actually chosen. As you can see, he has some little minions down here. I think this could work really good for any number of characters, but I thought, well, he has cybernetic arms, you could put this on Jax and it might look really cool. This character is definitely not nearly as popular, but the outfit, we can't argue it doesn't look cool. It's a really awesome outfit, so if they did choose it, it would still look really good in game. Even if the character himself isn't as popular, it is still a possibility it might be in the game just because it looks so darn cool. And then just one more obscure reference, we have Bingo. I think this outfit would just look really good on Cassie Cage or Jackie. It would fit really well. Now the character herself, not a very big deal at all. You can't find much info on her, but this outfit would look really good on certain female characters, so it's a possibility that it could be in the game. Honestly, I would love if Jackie had this. She had a very punk look in her concept art for MKX, but instead she was pretty much just a little version of Jax, and I really want Jackie to have this punk look. It would look really awesome. Once again, a very, very obscure character, so I doubt it'll make it in the game, but if it did, it would look really good on Jackie or Cassie Cage. Alright everyone, that's about it for all the possible costume combinations that I can think of right now, but please let me know what costumes you want to see for Spawn when he finally comes out. And then while you're down there, why not leave a like if you enjoyed the video? It really does help my channel out a ton. And finally, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell? That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.